are missing the plot. Mm, 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 mm. Don't drop that dun da da. Oh, don't drop that dun da da. Don't drop that dun da da. What? How? Copy the link. Let me share this with the Bay Squad because we got to talk about it really fast. Hello, y'all. Child, somebody almost got me tricked out my spot. Okay. So, hey, Couture Bays, we have to talk because, baby, do the Barbs want Nicki Minaj put in prison? Can we talk? Can we have a real conversation? Like, comment, subscribe, tap that notification bell so you can have all the updates and alerts. And remember, opinions are not facts. Of course, we got to talk about Diddy. He's pleading to be free. And my thoughts on that. And then, of course, pick me, Gina. Pick me, pick me, pick me, Gina. Gina, 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 who will not be picked. Like, y'all, did I tell y'all like, comment, and subscribe? Tap that notification bell so you can get all the updates and alerts. And remember, opinions are not facts. Yes. So Diddy's team said after the judge has denied them again, stating that they have not proven why he should be free. In my opinion, I disagree because he was not found guilty on strict, tough laws. He's not a threat to society. Last time I checked, buying a little Il Nana, and they didn't even have proof that he bought it. It's just hearsay. Means nothing. Hence why they're overturning the appeal. And I know a lot of people feel up in arms about this Diddy case. You're allowed to feel however you want to feel. But I will tell you, we have to stick to the black and white. Hence why it's going to go to appeals, and they're going to win in the appeals, the appellate court. I feel like the judge is saving face for his prosecution team that he had fired because they did a horrible job. They spent a lot of the taxpayers' resources, time, and money on a failed case. When you don't get the criminals for set things that you said you could win on, that's a problem. They should have never switched out the prosecutors. I feel like the judge was looking for some type of political clout and he thought this was going to be a slam dunk. What he failed to realize is people were not as stupid. I don't want to say stupid. People are not as naive in the tax bracket of Diddy as a lot of people portray them to. A lot of people were thinking about, if this goes through, this will happen to go through for other people like myself. Let's be very clear. The demographic that was sitting in the jury stand, men and women alike, are either the consumer or the marketing agent of transactions that went on in the courtroom. So I was not surprised that we're going to say no to him being released from jail. He's not in prison, he's in jail. He's been in jail. And I feel like the judge just wants to stick it to Diddy, because what other way to prove that you are not a lenient court by holding someone in? But the problem is the cases that Diddy's defense team is bringing up are active cases where under the Same Men Act, the men were allowed out on bail. The men were allowed out on bail. See, that's why I said you have to read more than you talk. You have to read more than you talk. Can we get 100 likes, please? And thank you. You have to read more than you talk. Okay? That being said, do I think this is about a black man versus a white man? No, I feel like this is, we lost. We're going to do everything in our power to not come across as losers. That's what it's giving me, especially because they did not financially ruin Diddy. Diddy was still paying for Jane Doe's lawyers and her living accommodations, but Jane Doe had ding 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 immunity. That right there. Dumb, dumb, dumb. Y'all think the judge was watching social media and all that? Them jurors didn't have time. Everybody's talking about the jurors just wanted to go have a barbecue. You believe that because who told you that? They have been deliberating through holidays already. 4th of July is just one of the holidays. One, one, one. They had to be interviewed during the holidays to see if they could even stand in the jury pool. Like, I think when y'all let certain content creators speak, some of you are emotionally charged because a lot of heinous things have happened to you. There are similar qualities that Cassie went through that resonates with you, but you got to heal your trauma. They said beyond a reasonable doubt, and y'all are expecting the defense to prove why he's such an intimate. He did. They did. They did their job. The two biggest charges they could not get, where he was going to serve life in prison in the state of New York. This is why I say, when everybody was quoting the Fed's history of them having a 96% rating, I'm like, y'all forget that 4%. The 4% are the people who fight. When I saw Mayor Eric Adams not go down, I already knew Diddy was not going down. Check the history. I was on Hev Hollywood's platform saying the same thing. I was on NT2's platform saying the same thing. I can actually read. Y'all get up here and y'all say certain things that trigger people, like, oh, what about the women? Y'all don't care about women, because if you did, the laws would be different. The laws would be different. And let's really take it back. Let's peel back the onion, shall we? Diddy is a multi-millionaire who's amassed a net worth of billions of dollars, not only for himself, but for his advertisers and his business partners. He doesn't just have domestic ties, he has international ties as well. Y'all went with the lies because the lies felt good, and in the words of Oprah, the truth is sometimes boring. The truth is sometimes boring. So I don't expect a bunch of emotionally charged people to take the time to sit and actually read for themselves what's going on. Look at the laws. Look up these cases they're quoting. I don't expect that. Everybody wants to be spoon-fed. That's why I say the children have been left. The children left behind. A lot of you are the children left behind. The demographic that's sat in the jury pool are the children who stood a chance. They were before the No Child Left Behind law was implemented throughout the domestic U.S., which to me, I do want to interview George W. Bush Jr. about. That is the one thing that is not off the record. I want to talk about it, and I want to see how did he come to that. Just for my own personal reasons, not to go viral or anything, but I would love to know. But like I said, when you know better, you do better. Please get the likes up. Can we get 300 likes, please? And thank you. Okay. So, hey. Hey y'all, yes, listen. We go off of facts. How I personally feel about somebody, I will never engage with that. Bobby, stay focused. We don't care about what the trolls in the chat doing. The trolls are always gonna come to the chat. We already know how that is, but if we continue to like, if we continue to do what we do, we don't care about a troll. We never care about a troll. Don't engage with them. When you feed the beast, they come back. As I was saying, did I tell y'all how the double tapping the screen and hitting those three dots right there is how you can double tap the screen, engaging with this video, there's three dots right there, and that's how you can send monetary support and subscribe to the channel and share us out. Thank you. Moving right along to Gina. I expect nothing less from a pick-me. Gina is a pick-me. Now, when Young Miami called her an eater and said she was all these things, y'all were mad at Young Miami. Y'all were at the point of defending these non-black women, the Cassies, the Jane Does, the Mias, and then the Ginas. But y'all were upset because Young Miami called it out. She said, girl, you've been with Diddy for how long? You have nothing to your name. You have nothing. See, when Young Miami did that pod with Saucy Santana, Carisha Please, and did the thing where she said, well, I didn't experience these things, but I know if I'm going to be with a Diddy, if a Diddy's going to be seen with me, I need some things. I want to be a mogul. I need more than a Birkin bag. I need more than a diamond Patek. I want land. I want real estate. I want to be a mogul myself. I want to be a billionaire. She had a plan, and she was also somebody of notoriety, fame, importance, hence why he could not treat Young Miami the same way he treated them. When she said we go together real bad and that went viral, y'all should have known then. When when Jane Doe said in court, she was jealous. When Cassie said in court, she was jealous. When all these other women, the former assistant, Mia, said they were jealous of these other women. How are you jealous of somebody and you have a better life? Make it make sense. That's when I knew the girls, because they have a certain complexion, they get the protection, but they bought into the red pill ideology and philosophy. See, the girls like the hoe with no work. That's why I said, I don't knock the girls who want to do a little hoeing, do a little, 3 or 4 activity, but at least be a smart hoe. Study your former hoes, like the Heidi Fleises of the world, the girls who was backstage with the rock and roll stars getting their money, the ones who was really hoeing up, not backwards. I always tell you, I can spot when the girls are dumb, delusional, and dense. The 3Ds, dumb, delusional, and dense. There's nothing going on in Gina's head. She has not done anything, and people are calling for her to be prosecuted for not showing up at the trial. Now, I will say this. She said she can't remember anything and she would not be a good witness. She clearly knew how to get out of it. Now, Jane Doe, when Diddy gets out of jail, what is she gonna do? Because allegedly she is 50 Cent's baby mama. We already know she can't go to him because he's been calling her bitches since. And they're even saying 50 Cent forced her hand to testify against the Diddy. And all she brought to us is she was enjoying a little shoom-dum-dum-dum. She was doing a lot of different little pick-up stuff. And mama has unresolved trauma because she was fighting him. See what the party favors will make you do? Y'all think these people were over there just taking and knocking between the washer and dryer. They were high. They were high. All of them said all they did all day was get pretty, take pictures, get high. And dip it low, pick it up slow, do the cucumber challenge, and then some. Ain't that much in the world, but somehow they figured out a way to do it. I guess when it's in your system, ain't no telling if I ever miss them. I have no idea. I have not engaged in that type of behavior. I've never been a person, in the words of Beyonce, I don't have to get high to turn up. I don't have to do that. I don't have to do that. But you know what? They do. So be it. If you want to live that lifestyle, you have to understand what that comes with, especially when you bring nothing to the table. And when I say bring nothing to the table, I'm talking about intellect, expansion, networking, etc. Gina's been around all these years. She has nothing to show for it. And we know that because she was so distraught that young Miami was on his arm while she was going to the Four Seasons to hunch on some male sex worker. Nasty work. Nasty work. I don't care about what Kanye said. Y'all care. Hey, Be Real, what is going on? Make sure you guys are liking the video. Yeah, can we get 50 likes, please? And thank you. So that's my thoughts about them. Let's get into Nicki Minaj. The Barbs are setting Nicki Minaj up. You guys are playing a dangerous game that has been, in my opinion, rewarded for a really long time, but now it's not the time. Y'all are harassing Jennifer Hugh. Why? Why? In the name of being a barb, y'all are setting Nicki up to pay this lady more money. And this is why I said Nicki needs to shut off the communication with the Barbs. They are not leading her to success. Now, when she's doing the high school challenge and things like that, yes. Why would you, in your small brain, think it was okay to run to Jennifer's social media and harass her, threaten her with disparaging comments, calling her a liar, saying you're going to attack her, saying you're going to place devices that will take her up out of here? What would make you do that? And she is pinning it in her stories. Welcome to Can't Make This Up. Pinning y'all in the stories, talking about her experience of being harassed, fueling the active lawsuit with Kenneth Petty. See, y'all like, well, Nicki Minaj is not a part of it. Yeah, but guess what? Her husband is. And she has in there that her fan base sought her out, brought her to the forefront, and threatened her life. She said gang affiliations, delusional fans, and then some. She's in fear of her life. And why would y'all bring y'all grown tails to her social media platform to harass her? Let's take a step back. And if Johnny has 2 apples and gives Sarah 1 apple, how many apples do Johnny have? If Johnny has 2 apples and gives Sarah 1 apple, how many apples do Johnny have? Can anybody guess? Why? No. Why is such an aggressive term? What would make you think this woman you believe is a liar would not use you to say, here, Your Honor, not only am I being harassed and talked about on her social media, this is what's happening to me. Do. The money is yours. Y'all are setting Nicki Minaj up. Y'all are saying Nicki Minaj up. Y'all don't care about Nicki Minaj. I've been saying it for a while. Anybody who cares about Nicki Minaj would not fuel her with negativity. Y'all are over there fueling her with negativity. Y'all are over there fueling her with And she shows a pattern of the Barbs harassing people they feel has done something wrong to Nicki Minaj. Y'all don't know how dumb y'all look. This is an active lawsuit. I keep telling y'all, whose money do you think is funding Kenneth's lawyers? Look at the lawyer. Whose lawyer is that? Nicki's lawyer. So whose money? Whose money? Whose money? It's one thing if you don't believe her. It's like, I don't believe her. She changed her story. I don't know. Just based on the things I've seen, I don't believe her. But it's another thing to be blind to how this is going to fold. It's weird. Y'all look weird. You look dumb. And you're setting somebody up to have to pay somebody for an incident she was not there for. Remember I told y'all the 31-year-old T? 31-year-old T she's going to have to cut the check for. Y'all do know that. And let's say Jennifer was going to settle for a measly $1 million. Now she might get more because she's been posting, I'm being harassed. Oh my God, nobody can help me. Look at this person. This person came back. It's crazy. I said, what in the entire, and I thought it was fake. I thought it was fake, and I said, yeah, this is too much to do an upload. It's just too much. Y'all were tagging Nicki in that lady's live. Y'all are bird brains. That's how I know if Jim Jones said drink the Kool-Aid, a lot of y'all would have drank it because you don't have a mind of your own. You're a mindless, spineless follower. And it's okay to follow people, but to follow people to the pits of dysfunction is wild. There is an open, active lawsuit. Despite how y'all feel about it, there's an open, active lawsuit. And Nicki Minaj be saying y'all are so smart. I'm not seeing smart, educated at all. This actually reeks of low IQ, low brow, very dense, very delusional, very dumb. And a lot of you are parents. I can only imagine what's going on in your homes. All in the name of a celebrity y'all worship. It's crazy. They game the gamer, be real, yup. Loving Me, she's never changed her story. Well, I mean, no. Nicki is a professional who works long, hard hours, handles business with integrity, and is positive inspiration to young musicians across the world. She doesn't need gossip / nonsense. Have a nice day. I'm the gossip and nonsense, but the Barbs brought this to the internet. See, this is what y'all like to do, and I'm so happy you said this. If she was spreading positivity, let's go into the positivity she was spreading, shall we? You know, I love when people say spreading of the positivity. That is so funny. Is this not Onika, Tanya Mirage Petty? Is this spreading positivity? I'm so happy you brought this up. I'll give you 10 million in cash if you'd come and fight him since you beat your own mom. Is that spreading positivity? Oh, my bad. It's inspirational. He was lied on 31 years ago while both of them were 16, and there's proof. That's why they couldn't get that money they desperately needed and sue for. The lawsuit is still going. She tried to get it dismissed. Didn't happen. Is that spreading inspiration? Oh, you must be motivated. Now, you, on the other hand, was beating your mother as an adult. That's inspirational. She should get a Pulitzer for this. Let's continue. Bigfoot has a brand new weird case as an adult. That right there motivates you, right? That inspires you. That tickles your fancy. That right there, you're going to go spread to the children of the world. Because that's what you can do with motivation, inspiration, dedication, tenacity. Shall I continue with the inspiration? What did you say? What did you say? Because I want to clock it now. I want to talk. The young musicians should do this. This is what you said. Jay-Z dodging a paternity test that could prove he effed 18 as an adult. This is on her social media, by the way. Inspirational work. Motivational. Desiree Perez beating her daughter and calling her black son-in-law the hard ER with as an adult, falsely had her own daughter institutionalized as an adult, lied and said her child was on the party favors. I mean, I can continue with this inspiration and motivation that young musicians should look up to and aspire to be, especially with the defamatory statements of what was said? Des Bryant's booty hole allegedly leaks as an adult. Her words, not mine. Her words, not mine. Her words, not mine. You see, this is why I said the children have been left. The children have been left. I mean, I don't. What was the context and the comprehension behind that? Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, where it clearly says subject another person to sexual content by forcible compulsion and restrained another person when he placed what the victim believed was a handgun into her back and forced her to go upstairs into his bedroom. Defendant admitted that. Please don't play with me when it comes to being a content creator, your favorite blogger, pop culture phenom. Because the one thing I do is make sure that the person said it and you can follow it. Look at that. You can find it yourself. If you was in the Base Squad chat, you would know. I don't play around. I'm not FAFO. You saw the case number? Yeah. Because the truth, don't worry, I told y'all. Hey, Kingpin. They are. You see what they was doing? Flagging. Yes, if your YouTube video is dragging, press F5 to refresh or get out and come back to the page. Oh, they mad because they setting the girl up. They setting up the queen of rap. Setting up the queen of rap. Nasty work. Nasty work. It's nasty work. Cause I told y'all I don't play games. I don't play. I'm gonna hit you in your heart, because what we won't do is lie. But y'all, I don't know what else to say. Besides, Jennifer Hugh is going to win that money thanks to the Barbs. Thanks to the Barbs, she's going to win that money. Like, it's nasty work. It's nasty work, y'all. But what are y'all thoughts? What are y'all thoughts, Space Squad? What are y'all opinions? Because this is crazy. I can't believe they flagged me. They was mad. Let me see. You can see me, be real? Be real, put a one if you can see me. Because I don't know. My internet's being wonky. They keep flagging. Y'all, the girls is mad. Okay, we in there. Okay. Hey, Jim 21. Listen, the girls was flagging me because I was hitting them with the truth. You know, when people like to lie. I told y'all, I'm in a new chapter. I said I was in a new chapter at the top of January. I said I'm going to report on it. I don't wake up and be like, I hope it's going on. I have a life, right? I have a life, but I also have a job to do. I see it, I'm going to report on it. That's my job. Now, if the Barbs don't want to report on it, the Barb channels, the Barb defenders, if they don't want to do that, that's on them. I'm not a Barb channel page. I am celebrity news and gossip, all trending things, pop culture phenom. That's what I said I was. I don't put myself in boxes. You could never put me in a box. Never. A box. You see this personality. You see the growth that's trying to stop this. Yeah, they mad. Stay mad. Stay mad because now y'all look stupid. Now y'all are caught in real time. And I have to say this, Jennifer did something smart. She caught y'all and put it in her IG stories so that she can show she's being harassed. Because that's what you need. You need proof of harassment from the alleged fan base. And y'all are so dumb, all they have to do is run the IP addresses to whichever account you have, and boom, there you have it. And a lot of you have all of your social medias tied to each other. That's how I know. If you're gonna be a troll, be a good one. Get you a throwaway account. No, y'all got it tied to all your accounts. Now the world sees how delusional you are. And when people say that the Barbs are garbage, you can no longer be like, no, we're not garbage, or it's not all of us, because it's a lot of you harassing that lady because you want to believe that Kenny was 16 and it was consensual sex with Jennifer. That's fine. Why are you harassing her? Y'all should be harassing Kenny to fight harder for himself. I never understood people who fight for others so hard but won't fight for themselves. She's fighting harder for Kenneth Petty for something to happen when she was 11. She don't know what went on. She wasn't there. She wasn't there. She wasn't there. If they had the evidence to prove that it didn't happen, do you think the lawsuit would still be going on? They would be having settlement talks? No. The judge is pushing for them to settle because he knows if it goes before a trial, all they have to say is he was convicted. Easy win. We got to use our brain. Tyrone Blackburn is not the best lawyer. I told you about Tyrone Blackburn. He's trash. But guess what? He's going to win in this one. Nicki brought her mouth and sat on her chair at the apple pod and said, Jennifer was a wild woman. She did it to herself. I didn't do this to Nicki. Y'all mad at me. I didn't do this. I heard they tried to lowball Jennifer, so the settlement wasn't accepted, and that's why they have to go back in October now. And if and still can't come to an agreement, then it will go to trial. Yes, they did. She said they did not like the numbers, even though Tyrone is trash. He knows he's about to make money off this. This was Hitalic news, and Nicki don't even know she's a mark. You're from New York. I thought y'all were fast up there. I thought y'all was fast up there. Not the Garbs are delusional. There's a few people who are supporters. They don't tune into this, but we gotta be like, come on now, like, girl, they don't feed into it. They stick to the music, and that's fine. They stick to the art. But guess what? I do more than stick to the art. I stick to it all. Yes, you got the personality. Thank you. And the FBI has been working with Jennifer regarding the Barbs for years. Ooh, loving me. You was on that live. Yes, where the money reside? Where the money reside? Where the money reside? Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Brother check up. Brother check up. And brother check up. Thank you, Darius. Thank you, Lou. Ooh. Listen. I tell you, if Nicki Minaj was my friend, baby, I would have been tapped in. I would have been like sending her a voice note and all kinds of stuff. When I see things that are beneficial to you, I help you. That's naturally who I am. And I had to learn that people don't want that. They don't want your help. They just want your light. And that's fine. Nicki doesn't know that she's not living in her true potential, because if she was, she would not be carrying on the way that she is. But baby, we heard Nicki Minaj on Beyonce's internet. We heard Nicki Minaj. That proof is there. People get mad at the things they wish they could change. You and me over here fighting to the T to end my live and be in the chat being unruly and disrespectful, unless you're slow. Unless you're slow. You have to be slow, mentally unsound, delusional, a child left behind to do the things that was going on. And you're adults. I expect this from children. I expect this from children. Children don't know better. That's why you said you gotta, raise up the children as you would want them in the world. And a lot of you have done a piss poor job. Your parents failed you. And I can tell y'all are failures at life. If you really peel the onion back, a lot of these hoes who be doing all this rah rah with the rah rah, they're losers in real life. They have not won at anything. Their opportunity to win, they did not bet on themselves. They got scared, or they missed their opportunity, and that's why they do the things that they do. Somebody who's living their life to the fullest and like it's golden would never get on Beyonce's internet trolling to the point where you're harassing somebody and hitting them with death threats. You're dumb. You can't say you're smart and I'm a barb and da 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 da. Leave Nicki out of this. You already brought her into this. You're stupid. You are setting Nicki up to make her pay. That's why I said, how can you say you love Nicki and you're out here setting her up to pay this woman millions of dollars that she had to write the raps for, that she had to go stand on the red carpets for, that she had to be picked apart like she was some type of toy, that she had to cry about, that she had to overcome adversity for, that she lived through her trauma for, that she sung to the millions of fans for, that she prayed about for, that she wrote in her diary for, that she's traveled the world for. It's going to have to give all that to a woman who literally was a victim, an alleged victim, to her now husband. Nasty work. That's why I said sometimes the light bulb don't be going up in your head. Maybe if y'all mamas would have knocked y'all upside your head when y'all was saying if Johnny had 2 apples and gave Sarah 1 and you came out with 6, maybe y'all would be better people. Y'all always excuse degenerate behavior until the degenerate behavior spills on you. And for the hoes that's gonna get sassy in the comments when I hit in, this one is for you. Stop bringing up who I used to hang out with, work with, used to go hard for. Okay, I don't go hard for them now. I have a mind, a functioning mind. I outgrow things, and you can't tell me what my experience was. Darius knows what the experience was because Darius was there. When I gave my opinion, it was too much. They left my opinion when it was in favor of something. But when I was like, no, I don't agree, all of a sudden I was getting cussed out. So don't tell me how I need to act. Y'all be trying to write soliloquies, bringing up hoes who are not relevant, who have not been in the places I've been, that don't spend the grands that I spend, that don't hang out in the circles I hang, that won't even show their face. Don't tell me about a bitch who can't show their face. Like I said, it's Nicki's fault for rewarding bad behavior. There's actually barbs who are actually hip-hop enthusiasts who actually have sound advice and do care about the music and the trajectory and how to live and operate and things of such. She doesn't feed to them. She feeds into the most negative ones of them all, and then the white ones. I already told y'all. That don't make me less of a fan. I'm just not buying and I'm not subscribing. I told y'all I am loyal to me. Bay Squad. I am loyal to me. Bay Squad. I don't have to be loyal to people who are not loyal to me. The fuck? Ugh. Just crazy. Okay, past tense. That woman is setting herself up. I'm fully concerned that if she did not have her fan base, she would have a mental health crisis. Oh, Lakeisha, you think so? Do you think so? Insecure women, low self esteem. You got to love yourself more than you love a man. And you really do, because there's no way I would be giving up my money to fund anybody's. I'm sorry. You in a bind, you gotta go see Nate. You in a bind, you have to go see Nate. The fuck? Ooh, where the money reside? Where the money reside? Where the money reside? Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Run the check up. Run the check up. Run the check up. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. I thought that was horrible. Thank you, Be Real. Thank you for the donation. I love it. I did not like what I seen. And I said, they set Nicki up. They set Nicki up. Y'all are the ops. Y'all are the ops. I'm not saying she has to get off of social media, but baby, y'all are the ops. I keep telling y'all, if they focus that time that they do harassing, dragging, looking up articles, oh, this person said this about you, and actually put the music on the charts, baby, Nicki Minaj would be unstoppable. Y'all think y'all are the Swifties. Y'all think y'all are the Swifties. Y'all think y'all are the Swifties. Mm-mm. Mm-mm. Hell, some of you weren't even down on the floor to see the queen. Y'all wasn't posting pics in that drip. I was out with the barbs. I was like, ah! Tomorrow is Thursday? Yeah. I'ma post how I was with the barbs. We was turned up in there. You're not a barb. You think that hurts my feelings? Why would I need to be a part of something that's not positive? I'm a fan of the music. I'm a fan of Nicki Minaj. Before there was a Barb, it was a Nicki. The fuck? Oh, you're saying that her fans are setting her up. I can agree with that to some extent, though. She uses them for sure. Ooh. And you can't even get mad at that because that's an opinion. I'm the queen of opinions are not facts. People don't have to like what I say. That's fine. We're grown adults, we're tax paying, law abiding people, right? At the end of the day, we're not always gonna agree, but what I'm not gonna sit down and act oblivious to is a story that I see, and I want to talk about it with the base squad. You came over here mad. You're probably one of the ones that's setting her up for failure. That's how I feel about it. If you're mad and you listen from start to finish and you're triggered, you are the one who is setting her up. You are the one harassing the girls. Even when I was like, I'm a barb, I've never harassed anybody. I just talked about it and got off the internet. I still stand by some of the things I said, a lot of the things I've said musically, and I see that the girls listen. Nicki, it's your time to listen. Girl, get in the water. Unsubscribe from talking to these hoes. They are putting you in a position of failure. If you want to pay up you're already going to have to pay. Let's be very clear. You're paying now. You can tell. And let me give y'all a lesson in money, because so many people be up here talking that money talking, they don't be making no money. You know how somebody needs money? Because they do quick things to get that fast cash. Look it up, search about it, research, right? Nicki Minaj was doing things for fast cash. Did I care about it? No, because that's her business. Y'all were supporting, y'all was buying into it. She was doing things for the fast cash because guess what? Ever since she got with Kenneth Petty, go look up the deal she had prior and look where she's at now. It's the scales are tilted, right? Also, this lawsuit is one she's going to have to pay. She's already paid a lawsuit. She's already paid a lawsuit. Look it up. See, some of your faves won't do that for you, but you can do it for yourself. I'm giving y'all a functioning thing. If she didn't need fast cash, some of the things she's done, she would have never did because she's never done it before. That cued a lot of people into what's going on. Then she got into a fight with Bill Kanana's bestie, saying that he was ugly, and Kim Barbie said, let me show you how ugly I really can be. At first I didn't believe it until I checked for myself. See, reading is fundamental. Now she can be mad, she can have the issues. I'm not saying she can't be mad. I'm not saying she can't do anything, right? But take it out using the resources. You know why she hasn't done it? Because she doesn't have the, she either doesn't have this or the receipts. She either doesn't have this or the receipts. Somebody who has receipts would not be acting on the internet the way that she's acting and inciting people to fuel her to keep going and going. That's all I'm saying. Agreed, the few collaborations that she has done did not appear to be deals that her heart was in. Like my daddy would always say, if you're mad, then wipe your with some Glad. Not with some Glad. What? And on that note, Bass Squad, we gotta go because you know the girls hate. They just can't take when we tell the truth. And I said I was telling the truth. I always started off with, if you don't like to hear the opinions of others, you should leave. That's how none of the children have been left. And on that note, comment down below. I gotta go. Bye, hoes.